Beverly today. Beverly is a great singer. She has juggled between life responsibilities and her passion for music. Could you please, Beverly, introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Hi, Nour. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Beverly Rinkwest, and yeah, I'm out in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm a musician, I'm a vocalist, and also accompany myself on piano. And I've been doing this since I was about 25 years old. So I started a bit old in this business, but I finally realized what my passion was, and I pursued it. And yes, I'm still doing music. There's a couple of other things that I do as well to um, stay financially going, but music is still the thing that I love the most.
What took you some time to start your passion?
You know what? I've sang in the school. Always, the kids were always asking me, "Bev, sing us a song," and it's always been there. And you never, when we grew up, you didn't think of it as that it can actually be your work. You can earn money from it. And so I didn't think of it at that time and just pursued something else to start a nice little office job.
During the first years of the office job, how did you feel? Did you feel you are in the natural place where you want to be?
No, there was always something about office work that I wasn't happy with. It it didn't come naturally, although I didn't bad in it, but it, you know, when I started music, I come from a small town called Malmesbury, which I actually again, but then at that time, when I was 25, I moved to Cape Town and I decided, wait, I need to do something else. So I went to this place called the Jazz Workshop. They teach vocals and all sorts of instruments and so on. So I went to the Jazz Workshop and I enrolled on doing a vocal course. And yeah, I've since that time I couldn't really concentrate much on my office work, although I still did it for many years afterwards. But um, my music kept me sane, you know.
Okay, so how did you study music? How did you try to develop your passion and talent after these years?
Okay. So, like I said, I started only late at 25, and I went to the jazz workshop, and yeah, I started doing the vocal training. It didn't take me long to, I probably took training for about a couple of months before I started working with the guys that I met there at the jazz workshop, because there were guitarists around me that also taught there. And I started chatting to them and we just started gigging. And yeah, started working in restaurants and hotels and so on.
How did you feel when you just came back into music again?
When was that now?
When you
At that time,
started, yeah, at the time when you started training, how was your feeling?
I was very excited. I remember the one guitarist. He's a very kind of famous guitarist here in South Africa, Alvin Dietz. He was just next door to where I took the vocal lessons. And then the one day he came into the room to ask my teacher if she would do a gig with him. And she said, no, she can't. And then I just jumped in and said, but I can. And it took us a few minutes to put down some songs and keys. He's fantastic. He could change keys just like that. So it wasn't a problem for him. And yeah, that same day, the Friday night, we did a little gig together. So I was very eager, and you know, when you're
How,
young, you jump into things.
How risky is it to move from an office job to music?
It's very risky, especially, especially here in Cape Town. A lot of musicians move to Johannesburg because there's more job opportunities. I have a friend that stays in Germany now because she gets more jobs there. So it is quite challenging here in Cape Town to sustain yourself financially as a musician. So it's probably better to keep something that's more stable and then do your music on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. But what is gigging?
Gigging is when you out and play music in the restaurants or the hotels and you say, I'm going to do my gig. That's what they call it. We don't say we're going to work now. We're going to gig. Sounds more fun.
And how do you do gigging on social media?
Well, with COVID-19, we were forced now to actually do something different. And I've been doing my gigs through Facebook. And yeah, so things, I've done a couple of gigs and then I got a bit sick and then now I'm back on my feet again, so I can start gigging again.
So my understanding is that you took a break of music, you did your office work, and then you came back to music again. Why did you have this long escape from music?
Okay, well, I had a baby, so my son's already 10 years old, so that stopped me a little bit because I had to ensure that I get more stable income in the music. That when you're single, you carefree, you do your gigs, and you can travel around. I traveled to Shanghai to do a 7-month gig and so on at the Hilton Hotel. But when my son came along, I had to be a bit more responsible, and so a stable income was what I was focusing on, and the music took a bit of a backseat, but I never stopped it entirely. I often did the odd gig here and there, so I didn't totally leave it.
Who did you train with, Beverly?
I trained, like I said, at the jazz workshop, but then I also went to a opera singer called Evelyn Dalberg. I enjoyed it very much with her. I didn't train very long with her, but she was an excellent, or she is an excellent opera singer, and she definitely can train a vocalist or push them further so that they can sing much better.
Okay, if you are going to define your own singing style, what would you say?
I would say I've got a kind of a jazzy, smooth voice. I started out with jazz, and now I moved more into kind of world music. I do French, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, and of course English. And and I sing in Afrikaans as well, which I grew up Afrikaans. So I do one song in Afrikaans. Which
Okay,
is my
yeah, please. Okay, what else would you have done to your career to develop it or to have it in a different place?
I think a person should start much earlier. If I knew exactly what I wanted to do, then I would have studied music immediately after I finished school. Made sure I'd finished all my grades in piano so that you are allowed to, I think you need to do up till grade 7 before you can enter university to study music further and so on. So yeah, there were a couple of things that was missing. But better late than never.
In an ideal world, if you have followed what you have just mentioned and you have fulfilled these steps, where would you have been now?
Well, I had opportunities to travel to what's the place, Sweden, and that was the time when I got pregnant, so I couldn't go. Yes, and there were other opportunities where I actually had the opportunity to get a record deal with EMR, but then they fell flat. So I was in the process, but that fell flat. So it was a little bit of a bummer for me. Yes, I've recorded a CD, and maybe a bit of better marketing could have gotten it much further. But I'm quite happy with what I've done with my music career. Like I said, I recorded the CD. I did shows in theaters and so on. It was a good run. It's not over yet.
Let's say which was the best performance you have ever given?
I would say one of the shows that I've done.
Yeah.
And also a performance that I've done at the Kirstenbosch Gardens in Cape Town. I played with a band that did like the Gypsy King style music, and yeah, I sang a song called Un Amor, which I will never. I still love that song, and it was just yeah, it's one of the performances that will stand out for me.
Is it available on the internet?
No, unfortunately, that's not available on the internet. It was quite a few years ago as well, but it's not.
Okay. Okay. What are the challenges in this business? What challenges have you faced so far?
Okay. Well, definitely the biggest challenge I would say for all musicians would be to really make a good living in Cape Town. You can, and I've done it before, but when things go wrong, when a restaurant or hotel doesn't do very well, the first thing they let go is the music. So that's definitely very challenging, and of course now with the COVID-19 situation, it really it's not a good situation for a musician to be in. I think worldwide.
What are the requirements to be a successful singer in South Africa?
Well, I think not just in South Africa, but you have to work on your skill. It's just like any other instrument that you have to practice and perfect well as much as you can to perfect it. And yeah, it's just it takes hard work to stay in the game.
Let me ask you this question. Have you ever thought about dealing with your singing career as a profession? Like, have you studied professionally how to market yourself, how to engage with other professionals in the business?
No, I haven't studied. I didn't do like a 3-4 year course on it. My training was with my, like I mentioned before, with the jazz workshop and with my had the opera singer. But yeah, as far as marketing and so on, musicians are very bad with marketing. They just want to get on, sing and perform. But when it comes to the marketing of things, they would much rather want to leave it up to somebody else.
Okay. So now I'd like you to sing, and if I choose, I want you to sing No More. If you want to sing another song, it's okay. It's your choice. Which one would you like?
What would you like to hear?
No More. I'd like you to sing No More.
I do not know that one. Sorry.
Yeah, so
But
if you would like to choose another song, it's okay. Choose your favorite song.
okay, I'm gonna do a song for you called Autumn Leaves. But I'll do it for you in French.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. You hear the keyboard?
Yeah, go ahead.
C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble, toi qui m'aimais et je t'aimais. Bientôt, les deux ensemble, toi qui m'aimais, toi qui m'aimais. Mais la vie sépare ceux qui s'aiment tout doucement, sans faire de bruit. Et la mer effacée sur les sables, les pas des amants désunis.
Oh, that's fascinating, Beverly. That's great.
Thank you.
Really, it's really romantic and really, I don't know what to say, but it's really touching. It's so good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. So if you are giving a message to your audience now, what would you like to say?
Well, I would like to say that if you're interested in making music a career, start early, and work hard at it. Because sometimes if you very talented, you don't put all that work in, then the guy that's not so talented is going to go further than you because he puts the hard work in. So start early and really work at your skill. And yeah, you will. And also, I know this is a cliche, but really believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, then who is going to believe in you? Yeah.
If one day we are going to write a book about your life and about your career, what would you like to call the book?
Oh my word. um, I would say Babe's Passion.
Again, Beverly?
I would say Babe's Passion.
Why is that?
Well, because even though it's been on and off, and I had a good run, and I'm actually now getting into it even more again. Um, it's always been the passion, and it will always stay my passion.
Yeah, it has been great talking to you, Beverly. I really loved your song, and I really hope you better improvement and great achievements in the years coming.
Thank you so much, Noor. It was really a pleasure to be on your program.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right. Bye-bye.